Betting at sportsbooks is absolutely rigged, but not in the way you think. It's not some conspiracy theory where industry insiders and the leagues are all coming together to take your money. It's more so rigged by the terms and conditions you agree to when you first sign up for any of these apps. So if you don't know about the PALP, data feeds, and limiting of customers, definitely need to watch this video. I'm gonna go over these 3 big things and what you can do to protect yourself. All right, so first up, the most important thing you gotta know is the PALP, AKA the palpable error, and this is in every sportsbook's terms and conditions. The PALP is pretty much the the customer is always right policy. So pretty much what this means is that if there's some sort of egregious price difference on what the line is that they offer you and what it should have been, the sportsbook can say, whoa, this is clearly a mistake, and we can either void your bet altogether and not pay you, or we can pay you the true odds, which is like something that's dramatically reduced. So let's take an example. Let's say that you're watching a football game, it's the 4th quarter, the Chiefs are up by 7 and they score a touchdown. So you may see a live line that says Chiefs -7 for -110, when really that line should be something like Chiefs -13.5. So if you bet that Chiefs -7 and they cover that, the book could then say, no, this clearly was an error. It should have been, Chiefs -13.5, and they can either void that bet altogether, or they can pay you reduced odds like -230 or something just to make up a number. And if the roles were reversed and you made a bet because of that bad information and it loses, the book can just say, sorry, not our fault. Don't believe me? It's literally in the terms and conditions. Now, you typically see the PALP come into play in live betting, and that's kind of surrounding data feeds, which I'm going to talk about next. So what can you do about this? Unfortunately, there's not really much you can do. Really, the only thing you can do if you feel you've really been cheated in this thing is reach out to your state gaming regulatory board. These are people who oversee all the casinos and sportsbooks in their state, and the sportsbooks definitely don't want to get in trouble with them. Be warned though, they may not take your side. Modern sportsbooks are marketed as entertainment and not anything else. So if they feel that you were abusing the system or abusing flaws in the sportsbook's capabilities, they may say that's really not our role, and they may do nothing for you. So it's really sort of a nuclear option if all else fails, and it's something that's really, really important to you, but just understand that it's not worth it for 20 bucks. Okay, the next most important thing, data feeds. And this is a big thing if you're live betting or betting during an event. So there is a huge delay on what's happening in real life and what you see on your screen. And so how these sportsbooks actually offer live bets is they have these data feeds that are automatically updating pretty much every few seconds to give you adjusted odds. So in order of what events happen in real life is it happens at the game in real time. The data feed then updates it, and then you see it on your TV screen. Now, that difference between the data feed updating and you seeing it on your TV screen can be a minute or more, especially if you're streaming games. So the problem here is you're making bets where the sportsbooks has information that you don't. I mean, think about how many points can be scored in a minute in a basketball game, or how many big plays can happen in a minute in football, for instance. The other thing is that data feeds commonly have errors. So again, you can get an updated line based off incorrect information, and that can either help you or harm you. So if you're just kind of rolling through your sports book and you're not actively watching a game and you say, oh, this line looks good, it may be too good to be true. And again, if it is, the book can say, whoops, it was actually our mistake. We're not going to pay you that bet. Or, sorry, it was wrong. You lose. Nothing we can do about it. Now, I will say live betting is absolutely something that should be in your arsenal because you can have edges that way. But to protect yourself from this, you want to make sure you're only live betting during timeouts and at halftime. This ensures that you have the most up-to-date information and you are on the same page as the sportsbook, so you're not betting blind. And the last thing, limiting customers. Every retail sportsbook will limit you if you either win too much or get too much closing line value. If you don't know what closing line value is, that means that when you make a bet early on and that line moves into your favor, so let's say you bet on a team -3 and that line ends up being -6 when kickoff happens, you got closing line value because you got a better line that is not currently offered at the sportsbook because the market agrees with you. If you do that too much, if you get that sort of value too consistently, the books will say, hey, this person has an edge. We don't want them betting with us because they could take our money. This is exactly what happened with us at DraftKings, and we are not betting tons and tons of money relative to what other bettors, especially sharp bettors, are betting. So how can you avoid this? Again, this is one of those things where if you're doing a good job, it is not if, it's when. And you'll see a lot of the sharp bettors talk about this very thing of having a very short lifespan at most of these books. If you're getting to the point where you are getting a lot of CLV and you are winning a lot, and when I say winning a lot, I mean the percentage of all your bets over a large sample size. I'm not talking about going on a 8 or 10 game heater. I'm talking about over the course of hundreds of bets. You then want to think about, how do I look like a recreational bettor or a losing bettor? And you can do that by making parlays, taking long shot odds to cover, mixing up your betting types, so not always betting size and totals, but maybe throw in some random prop bets or same game parlays. Anything that sort of a degenerate on Saturday would do, you should do that to kind of help mask your bet. Now, again, this may or may not work over the long term. It definitely won't keep you scot-free. They will still limit you in the long run, but it may be able to buy you some extra days, weeks, months, etc. So you may be thinking, hey, if the sports books has all these things rigged against us, why should I even bother? And the reality is, if you're just betting without an edge, you're just betting to have fun and you don't know what you're doing, the sports books will absolutely drain your bank account. That's the entire point of them existing. This is why on our channel, we preach so much about how to find edge and how to make smart and valuable bets so that you can overcome these odds. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to give us a like and a subscribe. Let us know in the comments and we'll be happy to make more of these videos. And as always, good luck out there.